Welcome to another vlog of Talk Wrestling. I have not put up a video in the last few days. I've been problems with the YouTube. For some odd reason, it's not uploading my vlogs. But I'm giving you 2 vlogs in one night. That's right. I'm giving you Smackdown now as far as what happened at Smackdown tonight. I'm going to give it to you early instead of waiting till tomorrow to upload it. So here we go. We go right into Smackdown. And right after the bat in Smackdown, the first segment, Jinder Mahal comes out and talks about Nakamura will not beat him at SummerSlam. Remember, Nakamura is a hard-hitting guy, and WWE has a problem with his hard-hitting as far as comes into the ring. But remember, I think Nakamura comes from Japan, and their style of wrestling is probably a little different than the American wrestling. I'm not sure, but don't quote me on that. So, at that point, he also says that Jinder Mahal says that he disrespects his country as far as interfering him when it comes to his Independence Day that he was celebrating before even Nakamura came out. So at that point in the game, Nakamura comes out. Basically, tells Jinder Mahal, "I pray for peace." That's what he does. He worships his leader, whatever it is that passes away, or whoever he is in Japan that he was talking about. But Nakamura says basically you gotta lose again, that you will lose against me. Basically, he will not win the championship belt back. Jinder Mahal would not. Move right along, Becky Lynch and Natalya gets into it. That was a match. It was a very good match. I enjoyed it. During that match night, before the match even started, Naomi comes down and basically sits with the commentators at the commentator table. During that whole time, he was that she has a big introduction when she comes out is going to be a big thing with the glow thing. So it's going to be a good thing to see. I can't wait to see that. Remember, SummerSlam is coming up this Sunday at 5 p.m. Don't miss it. It's a 2-hour pre-show going on right there. And I believe the regular SummerSlam the pay-per-view starts at 7 o'clock. So everything is being pushed back. Remember, that is one of your main pay-per-views of WWE. So don't miss that. I'll be watching it, and I'll make sure to get all of that as far as the pay-per-view goes. Moving right along, Becky Lynch and Natalya goes right at it, and the winner of that match was Natalya. And of course, Natalya goes back after Becky Lynch once again and puts the sharpshooter on her. Remember, during the match, she put a sharpshooter on. If you didn't watch it, Becky Lynch has a sharpshooter puts on her, and Natalya wins that match. So after the match, Natalya goes back after Becky Lynch, puts a sharpshooter on her, and that's when Naomi says, "Look, I'm not putting up with that crap." She went in there to basically get Natalya off from Becky Lynch. Natalya runs away from her, almost grabs her, and doesn't manage to get her. And basically some words was thrown back and forth. I'm going to go back to the whole thing that was just going to be a special glow entrance for Naomi. Basically, Carmella comes out and says during this whole thing, basically the whole thing stopped because Carmella comes out, and at that point in the game that she wishes both of them best luck. Then Ellsworth and says that you will lose. So here's the thing. Remember, Carmella is the first woman's Money in the Bank holder right now. So if one of those 2 women, Naomi or Natalya, is down and out, and they won and they are worn out, you can guarantee Carmella's going to come in there and take the championship belt away from that person. So look out for that, and look out for Ellsworth. He could come in to interfere in that match to make a decision who's going to actually win in that match anyway. So this is going to be a very good match to watch, and keep your eyes open for Ellsworth or Carmella coming down and interfering into that match. So moving right along, Tamina, there's another segment here where Tamina and Lana is in the locker room. Tamina says, "Where's my help?" Basically, where's my match? Basically, she wants a match where she can become a champion. She feels that she should have a match already against the champion. Lana says that you're not ready. You don't fear anyone. No one fears you. The only way you can be fearful is by letting me use my basically my beauty and destructive force. And unstoppable to be a champion. She's basically telling Tamina that you gotta be a reckoning. You gotta be a force to be reckoned with. If you're not that, you're never gonna be a champion. So basically, Lana is basically trying to give Tamina tips. I'm not sure it's the true tips that she's giving her. If she's gonna actually help her out to become a champion, or is she gonna be basically a lying person to get Tamina not a championship material at all. I don't know what's gonna happen with that whole situation, so that's basically left as far as that goes. And Tamina just basically wants to be a champion. Well, remember this: her father never became a champion, but he was a good wrestler. If you know the history of Tamina and you know who I'm talking about, back in the 80s, basically got hit over the head with a I forgot the name of the fruit. Sorry about that. With Roddy Piper, then you know exactly who I'm talking about. Let's move on. That Usos, another segment of Monday Night Raw. The Usos wants a match with the New Day. They go to Daniel Bryan and says, "We want a match with New Day," and who are they taking on at SummerSlam? Basically, who they're going to be taking on is Big E and Kofi Kingston for the Tag Team Championships at SummerSlam. So that's going to be a good match right there. Tonight, though, the Usos got them. So basically, they got so basically, Daniel Bryan getting the match with Xavier and Kofi Kingston. Moving right along, it was Rusev and Chad Gable. So that was a good match as far as that goes. Comes to find out, Rusev was taking his anger out on Chad Gable. At that point, it was a count out. There was basically no contest. Rusev was just too mad, taking his anger out on Chad Gable because of Randy Orton. So at that point of the game, guess what happens? Randy Orton comes out of nowhere, hits the RKO, and knocks Rusev out totally on the mat. And basically, remember, the RKO can come out from anywhere. It can come out from your right hand side, left hand side, behind you, wherever you're at. He will get you with the RKO. So, at this point, let's move to the next segment. AJ Styles wants to confront Shane McMahon for what happened last week. If you guys caught my last week's vlog about Monday Night Raw, you'll know exactly what happened. But let me refresh your memory as far as that goes. During that kind of conflict last week between Owens and AJ Styles, Owens hauls off and hits AJ in the face. Turns around, Shane McMahon was trying to defuse the problem, and Owens goes over top of Shane McMahon, hits AJ. Then Shane McMahon turns to Owens, says, "Look, basically it's time to stop. Look, this is not time for it. It's at SummerSlam this match is." AJ retaliates and hits Shane McMahon instead of Owens. So AJ Styles wants to confront Shane McMahon. He wants to apologize. Before he can even speak, Shane McMahon goes, "I'm not holding no grudges against as far as what happened last week. That was an accidental thing, and I will let that bypass." But AJ Styles wants to know if he was going to get screwed over as far as what happened. During that whole time that Owens comes out, he thinks that AJ, it was not an accident as far as AJ goes, and basically as far as that goes, he feels that he likes the rules on the match as far as this goes, and not able to get no disqualifications as far as that match because he thinks that AJ has plans of getting disqualified, which Shane McMahon, he's going to call it right down the middle and basically make sure that's not going to happen. And of course, AJ Styles, Owens during that time before this, right after he says what he says, that Owens holds out his hands, trying to basically get a handshake from Shane McMahon, and Shane McMahon says it's not right to shake hands, and basically says if you're going to shake anybody's hands, shake your competitor's hand, AJ Styles' hands. AJ Styles and Owens basically getting a little heated discussion as far as that whole situation goes. This was not off mic, so I can't really tell you what exactly happened as far as what they said. But I can tell you this much right now, that AJ Styles almost punched Shane McMahon in the face. Shane McMahon basically stops AJ from hitting him, and basically AJ basically telling him inside of the ring, "I didn't mean to." During that time, Owens behind AJ Styles almost kicks AJ Styles. AJ moves out of the way before he does kick AJ Styles, and he kicks Shane McMahon. Now, this is gone. Excuse me. This has really gone berserk right now as far as this whole situation with AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and Shane McMahon. Now, remember, if you remember the past of Shane McMahon and the McMahons, how they screw people over in the past, it can't happen again. But now, since AJ Styles and Owens has hit Shane McMahon, what's going to happen at SummerSlam? Is it going to take one of them to hit Shane McMahon, even accidentally, going to end up getting either disqualified or not even get the 3 count as far as for the other person goes? What is going to happen? Or the interference with Shane McMahon and actually hitting one of them and basically giving the other person the win and having them win the championship belt? Is this going to be like another attitude era that we're making it into as far as PG? I would like to see that. That would be an awesome thing. Anyway, moving right along. Remember what I said earlier in this vlog, that the Usos get the match with the New Day. It was a good match. I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed everything about the match. But come on the top, it was the Usos. It was a very good match. I'm telling you right now, this whole thing between the Usos and the New Day, I can't wait to see that match. I think that's going to be an awesome match. Do I think the Usos can pick up a win and become champions again? I'm thinking maybe that could happen without a doubt, because they look good tonight as far as in that match. Moving right along, this whole thing with the Fashion Peaks, it was kind of... I watched it last week and I watched it this week. It's basically talking about Fandango gets abducted by aliens. He finds this rock in his pocket. Before he throws it, Breeze basically was eating a donut, and he said something about something, and Fandango says diabetes because he was eating a donut, and basically Breeze basically dropped it. Then Fandango throws the rock, and Ascension comes out. brings back the pie that they had. Fandango basically found a note in it about, says to be. Basically, it was talking about the tag team the tag team division is in trouble. Then it comes up, it says Breezango will return in 25 years, which that was a big joke, of course. And which actually after that it says in 2 weeks, Breeze and Fandango comes back to Monday Night Raw as competitors. Moving right along in this whole situation, referee doing the match between here we go. I didn't write this down very well. I apologize. Bear with me. Jinder Mahal and John Cena. I was moving along in my notes too quickly here. Moved right over the top of the match. I was gonna go right to here. Cena and Jinder Mahal was a good match. It was a match that definitely that SmackDown needed, and I think it was a good one. Of course, the Sin Brothers gets involved and basically holds John Cena's foot from moving. And so when that happened, that referee sends the Sin Brothers to the back. During this whole time, John Cena picks up a win over Jinder Mahal. This means if John Cena picks up a win over Jinder Mahal, what does that tell you? That tells you what? That tells you he's going to be a 17-time champion. So this is going to be a big thing. So look out for that. Don't know how long it's going to be there for. It's going to actually happen or not happen. We'll see. But during this whole thing that plays out with Jinder Mahal and John Cena wins, comes to find out... John Cena wins only for disqualification because Corbin comes out and attacks him before the referee gets a 3 count. So reality, and the last attitude adjustment he does was on the second rope, and he does the attitude adjustment and basically could have won that match. It was a Corbin interfering in that match. Out of the whole situation, Corbin gets a chance to cash his money in the bank contract. He cashes it in. One thing he makes a mistake about is instead of concentrating on Jinder Mahal because referee's about ready to ring that belt, instead of him concentrating on Jinder Mahal, he turns around, hits John Cena. Jinder Mahal, remember, if you haven't seen it yet, apologize for the saying, remember. Jinder Mahal is down. He is down and out. He's not with it all the way. Then, of course, Corbin has to worry about John Cena more than anything else. He has to hit him off the mat to make sure he doesn't interfere with the match, which that was not even the case because John Cena was still getting to his feet and so on and so forth. And, well, Jinder Mahal comes behind Corbin and basically pins him for 1, 2, 3 count. And basically when I saw that, Corbin's shoulder was up. So he only had got the 2 count, not the 3 count. I'm not sure if Corbin is going to bring that up on SmackDown next week after the pay-per-view. It could be brought up. I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens on that case. Basically, John Cena basically says, you hung yourself. And he did. He hung himself because he was more worried about John Cena because he has a match with John Cena at SummerSlam. So this is going to be a big one. Remember, SummerSlam comes at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. This Sunday, don't miss it. I'll make sure I got all the information for you guys for that preview of SummerSlam if you guys couldn't watch it. So, my previews, my looks for SmackDown. I'm liking it. Very good show tonight as far as SmackDown goes. That's all I have for tonight. And just let you know, Ric Flair is in the hospital. The guy this fake thing about Ric Flair passed away. He didn't pass away yet. So it was on Facebook. Don't think he's passed away yet because he's not. He's in the hospital in a coma. They're not sure what's going on with him. So pray for him. Pray for pray for his whole family and what they're going through. So anyway, thank you very much. Subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification button to get all my previews of the shows and the history of wrestlers. And see you on the flip side.